The NFL offseason for the Titans and their workouts has officially concluded. We won't see the Titans on the field until July when we have training camp. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Brett Alper, and on today's show, I'm going to give you the winners and losers of all of Titans offseason. So, the OTAs and Minicamp. But before we do that, I want to give you guys just a little update. We had this from Teresa Walker. She's the AP reporter for the Titans. She tweeted out the official dates for Titans training camp. They'll report July 22nd and hit the field July 23rd to start the acclimation and ramp-up period. So, going to have a little bit of just about 6 weeks until we see the Titans on the field. So, it's going to get a little dry, but we're going to give you videos for you guys all throughout the weeks. Let's go with our first winner. And, I mean, whoa. Big surprise here. It's Cam Ward. And I think we've seen throughout OTAs and throughout minicamp just how bought in and just how much of a franchise quarterback that this guy has been. Was there ever a doubt that he was going to be a winner of OTAs, winner of minicamp? I mean, the dude has just been absolutely on fire. Going in at 5 o'clock in the morning, not even leaving. They were kicking his ass out. They said, Cam, you're in here way too long. And I mean, this was one of the days, like he threw a pick on his third pass and then threw 18 straight passes. The rookie is off to an extremely hot start. Finished the day 20 of 21. Now, he didn't have the perfect, Wednesday minicamp, perfect Thursday minicamp. He did throw an interception on Thursday, but Wednesday, still looking like a veteran quarterback. You see this from Will Bowling, that he threw a gorgeous deep ball 50 yards down the field to Calvin Ridley after a check at the line. It just seems like he's already being like a vet on this team. And then they asked him after minicamp, oh, Cam, what are you going to do during your time for the summer? And he said, just work out, stay in the playbook, and throw the bleep out of the ball. I think you know what word that is. But, this guy is absolutely dominating. And for rookie quarterbacks, they usually don't come out of the gates and just start throwing nonstop and looking great. I mean, you have to learn the offense. You got to learn your teammates. You got to get adjusted to from college to the NFL. And Cam Ward, it feels like it's just clicking with him. I mean, we heard it during the offseason, just how much it's clicking with him. He said that it's a plug and play. And that's really what it's been. His minicamp stats are off the charts. I'm not good at math. I'm not great at math. But I could bring it up right now. 42 of 58 through 3 minicamp practices. Also, he's obviously the number one quarterback if he's throwing the ball this many times. 42 of 58. Couple interceptions here and there, but that's going to happen. Nobody's perfect. That's over 60%. That's what you want out of your starting quarterback. So, he is going to be that guy, and he's going to come in and change the way the Titans are. I feel like a lot of people are already seeing it, and a lot of people are buying in that this is going to be a franchise guy. Now, we're on our way for this channel to be the franchise Tennessee Titans YouTube channel. And I got the live sub counter up here for you guys. 10,772. We need to make our goal of 11,228. That's not a lot of subscribers. We could hit that today. We could hit that this week. So go ahead, hit that big red sub button. It's free. It's easy. Give me 1 week to prove to you guys why you should subscribe to Titans Today. And if you don't, well, you can just hit that unsubscribe button. But just give me 1 week. We're going to be covering it all throughout the offseason. Second winner throughout Tennessee Titans minicamp. And I really couldn't pick one. So it's all of them. All of the rookie wide receivers. Talking about you, Xavier Restrepo. Talking about you, Chimere DK. Talking about you, Elic Ayomanor. I could not pick just one because they are all shining. And that's on the back of Cam Ward. Because who else is in the building at 5 a.m.? Xavier Restrepo, Elic Ayomanor. This is what Jim Wyatt, the Tennessee Titans reporter, had to say about the rookie wide receivers. He said, I think Ayomanor and DK are going to help the team this fall, and I'm not ruling out Restrepo being in the mix in some fashion either, whether it's wide receiver 6 or 7 or starting out on the practice squad. I think he's going to make the team, guys. I really do. Ayomanor and DK each had 7 catches in open practices, while Restrepo had 11, which led all receivers in open ones. And Sleeper Titans, they had this, and it was obviously per Jim Wyatt Sports. Restrepo was Cam Ward's favorite target. No, it wasn't Calvin Ridley. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Calvin Ridley. It was Restrepo, the guy that he's been working with for a whole entire year at Miami. Like, the rookie wide receiver, I can't believe he's leading this team, and you don't go 42 of 48, 42, 58 with just meh receivers. You don't do that. So clearly, there's a connection already with your quarterback and a lot of these guys. With Calvin Ridley, you saw they checked it down, and he went deep, 50 yards. That doesn't happen with a guy that is not connecting, especially with Ayomanor. He's fitting in perfect. Chimere DK is going to be on special teams. Like, it is working out so much. And I think the rookie wide receivers, we saw the Titans wide receiver room last year. Trash. And that's kind of foreshadowing to one of the losers. But we'll get into that just a second. What's your confidence level that Xavier Restrepo makes the 53-man roster? I think Jim Wyatt thinks it's probably going to happen. He said in one way, shape, or form, he's going to be on this team. I think it's going to be on the 53-man. There is too much potential for him to not be on the roster. Leading the team in minicamp and OTAs with catches, have to. Go down in the comments, scale it 1 to 10. I'm going to give it a 7. You have your wide receivers. You have a bunch on the roster. But with the connection that these guys, I don't think Cam Ward's going to let this team, I don't think he's going to let the front office be like, yeah, we're going to cut him. I think he's saved. He's not, Cam Ward is not going to go into this regular season with his best friend, with his main target on the practice squad, or even worse, not on the team. Just not going to happen. I give it a 7 out of 10. My last winner, and we talked about it in the takeaways, and it's Jeffery Simmons. And this guy is stepped up. He didn't show up to OTAs, and that was a little questioning. But the difference between him not showing up to OTAs and let's say a guy like, let's say if Calvin Ridley didn't show up to OTAs, Jeffery Simmons has to have chemistry with Cam Ward. He doesn't have to get on the same page as Cam Ward. He has to have chemistry. It's not like, all right, he's throwing in the ball. Jeffery Simmons is a trained vet. He's done this before. He's been here. So he can take a little step back, and as long as he's working out, that's okay. And Jeffery Simmons, he talked about it, not showing up to OTAs. Said it's not always an easy decision, making it not to be here with your teammates, especially with a lot of new guys first pick in the draft. But he made that decision. It was a personal decision. It was a good day to get back on the field. It's personal from football, off the field, everything, and I made that decision because of me. And we have seen it. From everything that I have read, from the takeaways from a lot of the beat reporters, from Jim Wyatt, from everybody else, Teron Davenport, they have all said that Simmons looks like the best player on the field. He looks like an athlete. He looks like he's their star player on defense, and that helps. And it's also, yeah, he didn't show up to OTAs, but guess what? He was still working his ass off because he showed up to practice, and he showed up 20 pounds lighter. And as on the defensive line, that helps with a lot of speed. He said this, I'm nearly down 20 pounds. It felt different, but I still feel great. I feel lighter on my feet, but still very explosive. We have to be better with the sack numbers. Yeah, Titans were bottom 3 in the NFL in sacks. But Jeffery Simmons, when he's on the field, especially as a defensive lineman, not your edge rusher, because you have Draymond Jones, you have Femi Oladipo on the edge. When you got a guy that's on the inside like Jeffery Simmons and he's even faster, he's even lighter, yeah, that's going to help a ton. 5.5 sacks, 7.5, 8.5. He's been healthy, and he's going to help this team, especially getting in shape. And he's taken this season serious because I think they feel like they're building something. And I said it before, you can't forget about your 2 edge rushers. Femi Oladipo is a winner. He got hurt in one of the minicamp, but he was right back on the field the next day. And Draymond Jones, they're saying that he is a veteran leader, and he's kind of showing out. But it's Jeffery Simmons who's a winner in my book. They're all winners in my book. There's a couple losers, but this team has looked a lot better than what we've seen from the last year. I'll tell you that much. Get your Titans jerseys on sale today. You can get your Cam Ward jersey. You're going to want to do it. Chatsports.com/Titans jersey. If you haven't gotten them yet, what are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? They've been out since he's gotten drafted in April. It's now June. Get yours today, and we helping you guys out. You can support the show, support the sponsor, chatsports.com/Titans jersey. We're going to have that in the comments and description of today's video. I like the white personally. I'd go with the white because I think it's clean. But get yours today. One more time, chatsports.com/Titans jersey. Now we got the losers. And these not necessarily are huge losers, but Josh Whyle, you haven't really showed out that much. I'm not saying you're a bad player. I'm not saying you struggled at all. It's just kind of just the way it goes. And yeah, there's starting to be not that big of a fit for you on this roster. I mean, 2024, you were behind Chigakonkwo, 28 receptions, 248 yards, only 1 touchdown. But they drafted a guy, a new pass catcher, and it's Gunnar Helm, and he is flashed every day in practice, according to tight ends coach Luke Stocker. So you have Chig, who's going to be your number 1, and slowly but surely, Gunnar Helm is creeping and creeping and creeping up that depth chart. I have him at number 3 right now, but for what I've seen and what they're talking about during OTAs, it seems like there's a real possibility if he shows out during training camp, during the preseason, that Josh Whyle, he could fall down to tight end 3, and then what do you do with him? I mean, like solid stats, solid number 3 guy, 28 catches, but is he that going to be your guy that you want to run a 12 personnel set with? Where you have Chig on one side and then your other tight end on the other. Gunnar Helm, he showed out. In his last season in college, he had over 60 catches. And if that happens in the NFL, if he's that big pass catcher, because you do want someone to block, but he can also block, but the main guy, he can go out and catch the pass, especially when you have a rookie quarterback who loves tight ends. We know how much they love tight ends. I could see the Titans end up saying, like, all right, Josh, we like what you did, but there's just no room for you anymore. Now, last year, they kept 3 tight ends on the roster. But I could see them trying to get something back for Josh Whyle if Gunnar Helm shows out. So it's kind of like you're not a loser here, but there's a possibility that they could move off you in the future. My next one, and this is kind of a no-brainer here, and it's because we talked about the rookie wide receivers, Jaylen Burk. Oh, good luck. He's practicing. They say he's at 80%. He's still coming off the knee injury, but I think that this is it. This is really it for Jaylen Burk. He's going to have one more shot. Or is he going to be that guy to be wide receiver 4? Because you signed Van Jefferson, you signed Tyler Lockett, you have Elic Ayomanor, you have Chimere DK, and look at that wide receiver room. There is a ton of people in that depth chart, and you're probably only going to keep 7 of them. And with not Van Jefferson, with Jaylen Burk, how he's been, do you really want to keep him on the roster? He hasn't showed out, and the rookie shining does not help you. Doesn't help when you hear the reporters, you hear the coaches talking nonstop about Restrepo, Ayomanor, DK, and then you got you, which is just like, yeah, he has 4 catches in he's only has a couple touchdowns in his career. This is what Easton Freeze had to say. He covers the Titans with A to Z Sports. He said, Burks is not a factor for this team in 2025, and I don't think he'll be a factor for them ever again. It was surprising to see him back at 80% as head coach Brian Callahan explained it. But he's still somebody that could either be on the PUP list or cut at the end of August. I feel confident about that. Healthy or not, he's just been passed up in talent and upside by too many others on this team. And because he said that, I believe it just as much as he does. The Jaylen Burks experience is over. You drafted him to replace A.J. Brown. It hasn't worked out, and I don't think it's going to work out. There's too many years that have gone by where you're like, all right, this is the year. This is going to be the year. And it just never happens. I think they're going to try to trade him, and if nothing ever happens, then you're probably going to end up just cutting him because you're saving money. He's going into a contract year. It's just not working out for this team. My last one, and this is one that I was a little surprised about when reading all about what happened at Minicamp, and it's Otis Reese the fourth. I wasn't someone who was actually thinking that he was going to be questionable for the future, but Paul Kaharski, who covers the Titans on his own time, he has a whole website. He's a really, really good reporter. Cover them for over 20 years. Otis Reese is not really factored into what's going on at inside linebacker for the Titans. An ankle injury from the season has been lingering and bothering him. And when you look at everything that Coach Callahan has talked about, all the linebacker coaches, the defensive coordinators, they don't mention Otis Reese whatsoever. They mention everybody else. Like Cody Barnes' name is getting mentioned every single day. And that's someone you brought in from Denver to be one of your star linebackers, and you don't really hear Reese's name. I know he's hurt, but it's just not looking great. You have Orgy, who's even getting his name called over Otis Reese. It's just questionable, is he going to be that guy that's going to start as your inside linebacker 2 next to Cody Barton? I don't know. Is he going to be healthy? Because that ankle injury is lingering, and if it's lingering a lot, they might look at that and be like, ooh, that's a good trade candidate here. He's going to have to step up. I'll tell you much. He's going to have to step up in training camp, because if it looks bad, they might move off of him easily. This team wants to build a new culture. And with Callahan, and especially Mike Borgonzi, your new general manager, he might change a lot of the roster turnaround going into this year and going even further down into 2026. Who are you looking forward to most to seeing this season? The obvious one is Cam Ward. But is there any other player on the roster, like a Draymond Jones, like a Elic Ayomanor, anybody else, or even Tony Pollard? Go down in the comments. Type who you're looking forward to most to see this season. That's going to do it for today's episode of Titans Today by Chat Sports. We're bringing videos for you all week long. Every time there's news or rumors, I got you guys covered. So hit that big red sub button. I'm your host, Brett Alper, and as always, tighten up.